Well, good morning folks. Welcome to the penultimate virtual assembly of this term. It's been quite a challenge, I think it's fair to say, so far, but we're almost there. Another week and a half to go, so please just keep going, keep the head down, working as hard as you can, doing the best that you can, and before you know it, we'll have a couple of weeks holiday where we can recharge the batteries. Mrs. Robertson's going to come and talk to you a little bit later in the assembly just about a really important message, particularly for the holidays where you're all separated off in your own homes and doing your own thing. So look out for her in a wee bit, but I've got a few things I'd like to talk to you about first. The first, folks, is the weather. As we get into October and as we start moving towards winter time, the weather does take a turn for the worse. We've been very lucky so far with the sun, and we've been able to be outside enjoying the weather and enjoying each other's company. But as the things turn, as the days get darker, as the temperature drops and we get more wind and we get more rain, obviously we need to adapt. Alright folks, we still expect full school uniform, we still expect blazers in school, but if it's cold, please make sure that you're wearing a jumper of some description. Should be black, it should be plain, preferably one of the school jumpers. You can wear that under your blazer to help keep a bit warmer in classes. Obviously, if the weather is poor, you can have an outdoor jacket on your way to and from school and at break and lunchtime if you're outside, but outdoor clothing should come off when you're in the building. So please remember, full school uniform in the building, outdoor jackets are off. At the same time, folks, we're noticing that quite a number of people are beginning to forget things like pens and pencils, are becoming a little bit scarcer on the ground. People are having to borrow more from us, so please just make that effort to be properly organised, ready to learn before you make your way into school in the morning. The second thing is, folks, just a reminder about what we're expecting you to do in terms of the COVID-19 restrictions and rules and guidelines. A lot of you are still following the guidelines relating to face coverings. We need you to maintain that, to keep it up. That becomes even more important when we have to open up the wet weather areas for you. If you're inside at break or at lunch because of the weather, then we need you to be wearing a face covering unless you are one of those who are exempt. We will remind you when we're out and about to do that. Please don't worry, you can still eat your lunch. You don't have to wear a face covering if you're eating. However, when you are finished your lunch, we do need you to put that face covering back on, folks. If you'd rather be outside, great. But if the weather is poor, please make sure that you're inside and that you're wearing a face covering. Likewise, in the corridors, folks, we're seeing a few people are forgetting. They're not as good at wearing them as they may have been a couple of weeks ago. So please, let's get back to that. Let's keep it up and let's support each other. Remember also, folks, that it's a rule that you have to be wearing a face covering on a school bus or on a public bus. That's not a guideline, that's a rule that the Scottish Government have brought into place. So please don't forget about the face coverings on the buses, guys.
Good morning, everyone. Today I want to speak to you a little bit about connections and the importance of connecting with those around you. We know that young people are more connected today than they've ever been before, but that's not always a positive. So our message to you between now and the October holidays and during the holidays is to make the connections on a much more personal level. Take the time to speak to people, take the time to listen. There is nothing more important than giving each other time, listening out for each other and being there as a support. Connect and make sure that you are the friend that you want to have. And we would recommend that you make these connections on a day-to-day basis, that you're speaking to people, that you take your head up from your phone, smile and interact.